Hey everybody, Captain B-Nard back here with another Wi-Fi battle. So today we have a battle against Xypher. So yeah, looking at his team on the side there, looks to be very powerful looking, very meta looking as well. And looking at my team, it is the same one that I've been using the past couple games here. So what do I want to lead with in this one? That is a good question, but I think... what do we want to do? I think we're going to go for the Galarian Wheezing in this one, actually. And yeah, we'll go ahead and see how that works out. All right. So, it looks like he is going to go ahead and lead with the Urshifu. Looks like a Rapid Strike as we lead with the Galarian Wheezing. So, this is not too bad for us, actually. We can pretty freely just go for that Berry attack on this thing, so that's exactly what we're going to do. We're just going to go straight for a Strange Steam, see what he wants to do. He does just U-turn out, so that's not going to do much of any damage to us. It is X4 resisted, but it is going to give him the pivot, so we'll see what he wants to come in with to face the Galarian Wheezing. It is going to be the Armarouge. So that thing's coming in. We do go for a Strange Steam here. It is resisted, but it still does a decent bit of chip damage to this thing, actually. And then we are going to regain some HP with the leftovers, putting us back up to full, actually. So, unfortunately, we can't really stay in on this matchup because we don't want to get taken out with a Psychic attack. So, I think our best switch to this thing is going to have to be the Incineroar, so we're going to do just that. We're going to just go straight to the Incineroar here, and we'll see what he wants to do. So there it is. And we are going to get the Intimidate to cut this thing's attack, not really going to matter, as he does go for the Armor Cannon, since these always are special. We do resist that, and we do have an Assault Vest, so we actually take that very well, as that is going to go ahead and drop his defenses, which is nice. So, this turn, I really don't expect him to stay in on this matchup, so I feel like we're going to take this opportunity to just go for a knockoff, get a big knockoff on something. So that's exactly what we're going to do, and we'll see what he wants to do, as he does indeed switch. And what is he going to want to come in with here? It is going to be the Corviknight, kind of as expected, so there it is. And we do go for the knockoff here, so that is going to do some pretty decent chip damage to this thing. We do knock off the Rocky Helmet, but we do get chipped by the Rocky Helmet as well. So this turn, we are in an interesting situation because we could certainly go for the Flare Blitz and take this thing out. However, I really don't want to take any more damage on Incineroar, as it looks pretty useful. So I feel like we can definitely bring something else in and take this thing on, and I think probably our best bet is going to be the Milotic. So we're just going to go ahead and straight up switch into the Milotic here, and we'll see what he wants to do. So there it is. And he does go for a Body Press, so that's not going to do too much damage to us, which is nice. And then we are going to regain some HP with the leftovers. So in this situation, we have a few different options. He definitely has a lot of switches to the Milotic here, so not 100% sure what I want to do. I feel like he could also U-turn rather than just straight switch. So what I'm going to do, I don't expect him to stay in on this matchup at all, but I am just going to go ahead and click Scald just to see what he wants to do. He probably could very well just go to the Chansey, but no, he's actually not going to pivot. He's just going to straight up switch, so he may actually not have the U-turn, but he's actually going to go ahead and come in with the Ninetales, interestingly enough, the Alolan Ninetales. Going to go ahead and get the Snow Warning to make it snow, as we do go for a Scald. That is going to do, with a critical hit, over 50%, which is great damage to this thing. And then we do get some HP back with the leftovers, so the crit definitely going to make this thing a lot easier to deal with. Now, unfortunately, he is going to outspeed us here, and if he goes for the Aurora Veil, or even if he doesn't actually, it's not going to be, we're not going to be able to do enough damage to this thing with the next Scald to take it out. However, it may be worth it just to chip this thing farther. So, you know, I think we actually are just going to stay in and Scald this thing to chip him farther, as he does go for the Aurora Veil, which is, of course, going to get him that physical and special defense increase for several turns as we go for a Scald. Not going to do much of anything this turn, unfortunately, through the Aurora Veil, but we do get more HP back with the leftovers. So, in this situation, unfortunately, it's going to be another few Scalds before this thing goes down. In a way, I want to go to the Galarian Weezing to defog the Aurora Veil, but I don't know if I can safely do that. This thing is probably packing Freeze Dry, and we'll probably go for it. We don't have the greatest of things to take that. We do have the Incineroar, but I don't know if I really want to continue to take those types of attacks with Incineroar, but I feel like we might not have a choice here. So we might just have to switch to the Incineroar. So yeah, I think that's what we have to do. But he actually goes ahead and switches the Ninetales out, interestingly enough. So he's going to go ahead and switch directly into Raging Bolt. So that is an interesting play, probably predicting another Scald. He is going to go ahead and pop a Booster Energy, activate the Photosynthesis, and increase his special attack. So that's obviously terrible news for us. But we are going to go ahead and switch our Milotic out as well, directly back into the Incineroar. And we are going to get the Intimidate to lower this thing's attack. Not really going to matter since it will be a special attacker. Now, in this situation, I feel like the first thing we can do is just Fake Out to get some chip damage on this thing. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to go Fake Out, so we do go ahead and get that Fake Out. Not going to do much of anything, but it is a little bit of chip damage and the mandatory flinch. So now the real choice comes in, because we have to decide what we want to do to this thing. Unfortunately, we don't have the best of switches to this thing, but I don't want to lose Incineroar, so what do we switch in to try and face this thing is the question. It does have a special attack increase, so this is going to be rough. Deciding what to switch in here is really going to be rough. We may have to leave the Incineroar in here, as much as I don't want to. We may have to leave the Incineroar in here, and I'm feeling like that might be what we have to do. We are Assault Vest. We might be able to take an attack. But yeah, let's just try to U-turn out and see what he does. He does go for a Draco Meteor straight away. Can we take that? We actually do. With 7 HP, Incineroar hangs on. He takes those harsh special defense drops, or special attack drop, I should say. We get the U-turn off, going to do basically no damage, but it does give us the pivot, and I think we definitely want to pivot into the Galarian Weezing here. I think that's our play 100%. So Incineroar taking that like a champ, hanging on, which is great. So the Galarian Weezing is in. The snow is over, but the Aurora Veil is still going to be up, I believe, for another few turns. Well, it says this is the last, but if he's got the Light Clay, which he probably does, it will be more turns. So we're going to take this opportunity to go ahead and defog, see what he wants to do. He actually does switch the Raging Bolt, kind of as expected. And what is he going to want to come in with? It is going to be the Chansey. So that thing's coming in as we go for the defog. That is going to be completely fine, because we do drop this thing's evasion, but more importantly, we get rid of that Aurora Veil. So, but now we definitely can't stay in against the Chansey with the Galarian Weezing, so I feel like our best play in this situation is to go to the Hisuian Decidueye to face down the Chansey. So that's exactly what we are going to do here. And so there it is. And he does go for a Thunder Wave, so that is a little unfortunate. That is going to paralyze the Hisuian Decidueye, so that might come into play later. But yeah, there's not much we can do about that. So now the question becomes, what do we want to go for against the Chansey? Now, I don't think there's any chance that this Chansey stays in here. I feel like looking at his team, our best attack is probably still Triple Arrows. Now, he could switch into of course, the Armarouge, and if he does, that would be bad news. So we could actually Brave Bird, anticipating that. I kind of want to do that in a way, so you know what, because the Triple Arrows won't take him out. So yeah, let's Brave Bird. I feel like there's no way he stays in on this. But yeah, we're just going to Brave Bird and hope for the best as he does switch. So what does he want to switch into the Hisuian Decidueye? It is the Corviknight, so that's unfortunate. The Corviknight comes in, and we could have got a triple arrows, but now we get a Brave Bird instead. So that is not going to do basically anything to this thing. We do take a little bit of recoil damage there. And then we are going to get some HP back with the leftovers. So that does put us back up to full. Now, unfortunately, we really can't stay in against this Corviknight. We have to switch, and I think... What do we switch into? I feel like the Milotic is just the best play, so we're just going to go to the Milotic here. I don't think there's any reason not to. And yeah, we'll see where that gets us here against this Corviknight. See what he wants to do. So there is the Milotic, and he does just go for a Brave Bird straight away, trying to take us out. That does do quite a bit of damage to the Milotic, but we do have about 50% HP remaining, which is good, and then we do get some HP back with the leftovers. So this turn, he could do a couple different things here. He could Roost, which he probably will do, or he could switch. Now, I kind of want to recover myself, but at the same time, I kind of want to Scald. But I feel like Recover is probably the better play. So we're going to go ahead and click Recover here, as we do actually outspeed this thing. We go for the Recover to go ahead and get us back up to full HP, as he is just going to go for the Brave Bird, so he's going to go straight for the attack. Does do quite a sizable amount of chip damage to us. Again, but we do take it well enough, and then we are going to get some HP back with the leftovers after he took some recoil damage. So this turn, I think we actually are just going to Scald. We're going to switch to Scald this time, as he actually does go for the switch. So what does he want to switch into us? It is going to be the Ninetales, so he was probably thinking he could get a free switch there, just off of us potentially going for the recover. But the Ninetales comes in, he gets the Snow Warning, we go for the Scald. Fortunately, it is enough to go ahead and finish that Ninetales off from that range, dropping him down to 5 Pokemon. So that is pretty incredible for us. We get rid of the Ninetales, we deal with the Ninetales before he has an opportunity to reset the Aurora Veil. So that is great, as we get some leftovers recovery there as well. So that is a pretty nice turn of events for us. So we'll see what he wants to come in with in response. It is going to be the Raging Bolt again. So this is going to be a problem for us, obviously, because the problem is we don't know what he's going to want to go for. Probably the electric attack, but I feel like our best play in this situation is just to sack the Incineroar off, there's not much else it can do here, so that's what we're going to do. We'll see what he wants to go for. He might very well be choice locking himself into something here, but we'll see, as we do get the Intimidate. Oh no, I think it was Booster Energy, actually. Never mind. So he does go for the Thunderbolt, and he gets a crit there. Don't think that mattered. Obviously it didn't matter, but that does take the Incineroar out and knock him down, and knock us down to 5 Pokemon. So, now we have a little bit of a choice to make. What do we bring in to face the Raging Bolt? So, I wish that he had gone Draco, because then his special attack would be lowered, but obviously that was not the case. I feel like we're going to go for our Indeedee. I think that's the play here. So we're going to go ahead and switch into the Indeedee, and we are going to get the Psychic Surge, set the Psychic Terrain up on the battlefield, and so that is of course going to block Thunderclap, so he can't go for that. Now the only question is, he could certainly switch into the Chansey, that's a possibility, but what does he go for? Does he stay in and try to attack us, or does he switch out? I think what we're going to do is we're still going to Expanding Force regardless, just to see what he wants to do. He actually does go for the switch, so he probably does just go into the Chansey, unfortunately. And yep, there it is. So he does go into the Chansey. Now we're going to find out how much this Expanding Force does to a Chansey. We're going to hit him up with that, and it doesn't do much of anything, unfortunately. So obviously can't stay in on this match, so the switch... You know what? I think we could switch to the Hisuian Decidueye here, but I kind of want to take this chance to go into... As much as I want to go into Iron Thorns, I don't just want to switch it in willy-nilly, so we'll just make the safe play and go to Hisuian Decidueye for now. I did really kind of want to go into Iron Thorns, but I feel like we need more of a free switch to bring that in. So we go for the Hisuian Decidueye, as he does go for the Stealth Rock with the chance to get that entry hazard up on us. And so I think what we'll do here, he definitely switches out, no question about that. But even so, I still think Triple Arrow is probably the best move we can go for. So that's what we're gonna do. And we'll see what he wants to do. I don't know that the Corviknight can take one from the range it's at, so unless we get full parried, which would suck, but he does indeed switch the Chansey out. So what is he going to want to switch in with here? It is going to be the Raging Bolt. Okay, so that thing comes in, and so we go for the triple arrows. We do connect, which is nice, and it does do a ton of damage with a critical hit to the Raging Bolt, which is incredible, knocking it down to about 1/4 HP. So I think he probably does go Draco this time around. So what do we do? What do we do? What do we do? What do we do? Let's go for... What do we do? I have a little bit of a plan. So let's go for Milotic. Let's switch Milotic in here. So I want to save Hisuian Decidueye in case I need it as a physical attacker later with that Chansey in case this plan doesn't work. So we're going to switch Milotic in here. We take the Stealth Rock damage, and he does go for the Draco Meteor as expected. It does not quite take the Milotic out, which is great for us, as he does get those harsh special attack drop, which is going to be great. We do get some HP back with the leftovers, and the Psychic Terrain is still in play. We're just going to go ahead and try to fire off an Ice Beam here, but I don't think it's going to matter because he does outspeed us, go for the Thunderbolt. Unfortunately, from that range, the Milotic cannot take one. So it takes the Milotic out, knocks us down to 4 Pokemon. But the Psychic Terrain is going to disappear as well. Now, the only good thing about this is exactly what I wanted in terms of I think this opens the door for Iron Thorns. So we're going to come in with Iron Thorns, and we are going to take the Stealth Rock damage. We are going to pop our Booster Energy to go ahead and increase our physical attack here, which is great. And so now we basically have free reign to Dragon Dance. So that's exactly what we're going to do. This thing at -2, if it stays in and tries to attack us, not going to do a ton of damage, as we do resist the electric attack as well. And yeah, we're just going to try this again with the Iron Thorns and hope it works out this time. Going to try to get that Dragon Dance to work, and we're going to see what happens. Okay, so he does withdraw the Raging Bolt, which is actually pretty good for us, so we get the free Dragon Dance. He does come in with the Corviknight. So the Corviknight is in, and there it is as we go for the Dragon Dance. That is going to give us that +1 in attack and speed, and we do have the heightened attack from the Booster Energy as well. So given all those things, I feel like an Ice Punch probably takes this thing out. I don't really want to risk missing the Supercell Slam. So we're going to Ice Punch here. That's going to be the play as we go Ice Punch, and sure enough, it is enough from that range to take the Corviknight out and drop him down to 4 Pokemon. So that is pretty incredible for us. Iron Thorns might be poised to actually do something, which would be pretty incredible for us. So I guess we're just going to have to see if we can follow through with that. So yeah, we'll see what he wants to come in with in response as we are starting to push the edges of the timer here. What is he going to want to come in with to face? It is going to be the Urshifu. So if the Urshifu is Scarf, he will definitely outspeed us. So what I'm going to do here is I think we are going to bust out our Terra so we can go ahead and have the resistance to the fighting move and the and the neutral damage from the water move. And we're going to go for the Supercell Slam here and hope we don't miss. So this is, oh, he's going to go ahead and bust out his Terra as well. All right, so going to terrestrialize the Urshifu into a water type. Okay, so he's going for the extra damage output on the Surging Strikes, no doubt here. Trying to take us out with that, but we are going to go ahead and terrestrialize ourselves as well on the Iron Thorns. Going to go all in on Iron Thorns here and hope it pays off as we terrestrialize into a flying type, losing our water weakness, and now it will only be neutral effective. So he is going to go for the Surging Strikes. It is Terra boosted, but it is neutral now, and there's one. Can we take it? There's 2. I think we might be able to take 3. And yes, with 20 HP, we do hang on with Iron Thorns. We go for the Supercell Slam. We do connect with it, and that is going to go ahead and get rid of that Urshifu, which is incredible, one-shotting it, knocking him down to 3 Pokemon. So Iron Thorns gets its time to go ahead and make it happen there, at least for 1 turn. So that knocks him down to 3 Pokemon. Unfortunately, now he's going to go ahead and come in with the Raging Bolt, and yeah, we are 1 Thunderclap away from getting taken out. So yeah, we're just going to go ahead and click Earthquake, but I feel like he's definitely got to have Thunderclap, and that he does, and obviously that takes out the Iron Thorns, knocking us down to, I believe that's 3 Pokemon as well, with the timer being pushed. So so we're down to 3 Pokemon, so we are going to go ahead and come in with, what do we come in with? I guess we come in with Indeedee. Yeah, we just come in with Indeedee. But yeah, this is going to be, unfortunately, this is going to be a timer game here, but we're going to play it out to the end. We come in with Indeedee, take that Stealth Rock chip damage, get the Psychic Surge, setting that terrain back up. And so, yeah, we're just going to go ahead and Expanding Force here, not like it's going to matter. Of course, he is going to switch the Raging Bolt for later, and probably back into the Chansey, more than likely. Yep, there it is. So, yeah, round we go with the Chansey. We go for the Expanding Force. Actually takes Chansey down to almost half. It looks like we might have 1 more turn left here, so we're going to go ahead and switch to the Hisuian Decidueye. With seconds left on the clock, I don't think it's going to matter. Nothing this Chansey does is going to take the Hisuian Decidueye out, but we're just going to switch back in with the Hisuian Decidueye, take that Stealth Rock damage as Chansey just goes for a soft boiled, because that's what it does. To go ahead and put itself back up to full HP, as we will also regain the rest of our HP with the leftovers as well. So that's pretty much it. That's going to be it for the game. It looks like functionally, technically, we are tied 3-3. But yeah, so we're just going to go ahead and click triple arrows, but it's not going to matter, of course, because the timer is up. And so the game is over, and we take the win by a technicality due to our Pokemon having more health. So we are going to win this one 3-3 technically against Xypher, but that was a great match, actually. Very close, very competitive. Just a really solid one all around. Yeah, unfortunately, the timer just really killing us there at the end. I feel like we probably would have had that one if not for the timer, although it's hard to say for sure. You know, it just kind of would be a matter of going round and round with the remaining Pokemon, with the Indeedee and the Hisuian Decidueye, and then of course we still had the Galarian Weezing in play too. So yeah, we can't say for sure, but I feel like we were in a pretty reasonable position to win that one if not for the timer. And yeah, unfortunately, just the timer is still just a menace in Scarlet and Violet, but really solid match despite that. So but that's it. Thanks for watching again, everybody. Hope you all enjoyed. Please hit that like button, leave a comment, and or subscribe if you did enjoy, and stay tuned for more new battles in the future. So that's it, and we'll see you next time.